Hello and welcome back to another episode of Brews and Bravery. Today I'm gonna do a bit of a profile on how to play Malfurion. So Malfurion, he's a support class healer. He has, some pros and cons. You're less mobile, but you can hit people from afar with your Moonfire. He has good sustained healing. Entangling Roots can, save a lot of lives if it's used properly to, slow those enemies or also, get the kills. So it's definitely good in that sense. Properly timed Tranquility can give your team a huge advantage in team fights if you pop it at the right time to, keep that sustain and keep the enemy, going after you because they think they get the kill and they don't realize that, the reason the health isn't going down is because you have Tranquility rolling. So, a Twilight Dream is also, in comparison, a great source of instant damage, and with that silence can really help team fights as well. So either way, with your max level ability, are very useful. Cons, though, not much burst healing. It is a heal over time. Not extremely mobile. Your only hope is Entangling Roots to get you away from anything. There's a slight delay in Entanglers when it takes to spawn, which also means that you kind of have to plan to cast it either in front or, behind you so that they run into it. So yeah, it's definitely hard to outrange and put it ahead of somebody if you're chasing them. So it's not a very good slow in that sense. It's very much so, more of a defensive thing, and you really have to be thinking ahead. Yeah, and the other thing is with Tranquility, if you get stunned or silenced during it, it cuts it short, so, it could end up hardly healing your teammates at all. So it's really not very impressive in that sense. If we want to move on to talents, I can show you a couple. On the first level, you want to take Conjurer's Pursuit, increase mana regeneration by 3 regeneration globes gathered. So that's what you want to start off with, and then at the second level you want to go for the Protective Shield. It activates a shield on allied heroes, shielding them from 185 damage for 5 seconds. On the next talent tree, you want to go for Enduring Growth and increase regrowth duration by 6 seconds. Definitely helps. On the next one, we're going for Tranquility most of the time, and unless you kind of want more of an offensive build, you can go for Twilight Dream. Both of them are excessively useful. And finally, Life Seed, with nearby hero passively receive regrowth periodically. After that, you want to go for Hardened Focus is your next one. Faster cooldowns near full health. You're, in the back, you should theoretically, as a healer, keep your health pretty topped up and be sort of that character in the back that isn't the first one to take damage. And finally, Serenity has increased healing and grants mana, so it's definitely also a fantastic option for people with Serenity. It's definitely a good one. Alright, so those are the talents that you would choose as your, for a more defensive healer role, which is what you should be going as more often playing Malfurion. You really want to be coming to the rescue, using those regrowths, protective shields, entangling roots, on your heroes so that people, you're either slowing or you're helping out defensively. As a support hero, you should not be alone at all, really. You should never be by yourself. You should be with somebody else. So you should definitely not be with another support hero. You should be, laning with a, a ranged assassin or a, melee assassin or something like that is more the type of people you should be with. Like, you want to be waiting for the enemy to dive a little deep so you can entangling root them and hopefully go for a kill. So those are definitely the type of things, killing minions with moonfires, but you don't want to go too early game, you always got to be, you know, careful about that. Don't use too many Moonfires and Entangling Roots unnecessarily. It can really drain. Yeah, so just be ready with those regrowths. You're all about healing. You're all about, you know, keeping, you know, everybody in a safe health range. You know, you should use it Tranquility earlier in the fight rather than later, because it is a heal over time. So as their health is going down, it's not a save it till the very last second type of thing. You know, it's 50-75% HP is when you should bring it in to use it in those big team fight situations. You know, there's and to finally cap off this you know, walkthrough here for Malfurion, these aren't absolutes. You know, you can definitely tailor it based on, you know, what your enemy is and whether, you know, you need that CC to win those team fights in a particular match. Can be, you know, sometimes more beneficial than that than the heal if, you know, you have a pretty tanky team and, you know, what you really need is to stop the enemy from dealing that damage, not necessarily healing your team if they're doing fine.